Welcome to an incredible chapter of Cold War history, where a major American soda brand found itself negotiating for naval assets. This is the secret deal between Pepsi and the USSR. In the height of the Cold War, bringing an iconic American consumer product like Pepsi to the Soviet Union was an immense challenge, but one PepsiCo was determined to overcome. The geopolitical climate was tense. While the US and USSR engaged in rivalry, PepsiCo saw a massive, untapped market, but a huge barrier stood in their way. The problem was simple. Soviet rubles were not easily convertible to Western currencies. Any large-scale trade deal required a creative solution for payment. PepsiCo and the USSR devised a remarkable solution, a barter agreement that would set a precedent for future, even stranger, exchanges. In 1972, Pepsi signed a landmark agreement. They would ship their soda concentrate to the USSR in exchange for the rights to distribute Stolichnaya vodka in the United States. This barter allowed Pepsi to enter the Soviet market without needing hard currency, bringing the first taste of American consumerism to Soviet citizens. As the Soviet Union's economic situation deteriorated, the initial vodka for Pepsi deal became unsustainable for the scale of expansion PepsiCo planned. PepsiCo wanted to open dozens of new bottling plants, far exceeding the value that Stolichnaya sales could cover. The fundamental problem remained. The USSR couldn't pay in dollars, and PepsiCo needed valuable assets to keep the trade flowing. This led to the most bizarre and famous part of the deal. In 1989, PepsiCo accepted payment in the form of Soviet naval vessels. Faced with a massive debt, the Soviet government offered a solution: their aging, decommissioned naval fleet. The assets included a decommissioned frigate, a cruiser, a destroyer, and 17 submarines. Yes, Pepsi temporarily owned a naval fleet. This deal, valued at around $3 billion, briefly meant PepsiCo had one of the largest naval forces in the world, though not in active duty. One U.S. national security advisor joked that PepsiCo could disarm the Soviet Union faster than the U.S. military if they didn't get paid for their soda. The naval vessels were not intended for battle. They were immediately sold off to a Swedish company for scrap and salvage, converting the military hardware into cold, hard cash. The Pepsi-USSR trade agreement remains an extraordinary historical footnote, illustrating the extreme lengths required for market access during the Cold War. It's a testament to how global trade sometimes finds a way to bridge political and ideological divides, even when a nation's currency is useless. Following the dissolution of the USSR, the complex barter agreements ended, and PepsiCo transitioned to standard currency trade with the newly formed Russian Federation.